Every story has a beginning. Every heart longs for hope. And every page points to something greater.
Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other,
"Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly."
They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said,
"Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth."
But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said,
"If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other."
So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. The Tower of Babel is a story about the danger of pride, about what happens when human ambition replaces God at the center of our lives. But it is also a story about something deeper, about the fact that the very thing we try to build on our own, significance, legacy, a name that lasts, can never be achieved by our own effort. True greatness is not something we build, it is something God gives. Let us make a name for ourselves. That one phrase reveals everything. This was not about honoring God. This was not about gratitude for surviving the flood. This was about human pride, reaching up to grab what belongs to God alone, glory. They were not building a tower to get closer to God. They were building a tower to replace Him. Now, it is easy to read this story and think God was threatened by what people were building, or that He was being harsh and shutting down human progress. But that is not what was happening at all. God was not afraid of the tower. He was protecting people from themselves. Think about what a world unified under pride and self-glorification would look like. History has shown us glimpses of it, and it never ends well. Power without humility. Ambition without accountability. Unity is built on self-worship rather than love. That is not progress. That is a disaster waiting to happen. What God did at Babel was an act of mercy dressed up as judgment. By scattering the people and diversifying their languages, God was limiting the damage that unchecked human pride could do. And He was setting the stage for something far greater, a future day when people from every language, every tribe, and every nation would be united again. Not around a tower built to glorify themselves, but around a God who came down not to judge, but to save. The people of Babel wanted to make a name for themselves. But the name that lasts forever is not carved into a tower of bricks. God Himself writes it in something far more permanent.